Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again in this YouTube astrological segment. I'm going to be talking about the Sun conjunct Chiron in a natal chart. Now, some of you may remember when I first started my YouTube astrology channel, I did a series on the aspects in a natal chart, and they were a little bit concise. Some people may have referred to them as snappy, so what I decided to do was make another series on them in which the videos would be a little bit longer and more descriptive. So anyway, first thing up is, well, first of all, there may be a very intense focus, which is the Sun, on helping and healing others, which is Chiron. Now, let's say if you have a Chiron in Aquarius, that could be helping and healing others may be done through some kind of altruistic or selfless acts, humanitarianism. Maybe it's doing something, with computer, repair, doing something with electronics, through astrology, or something with astronomy. It might be also, it could be just simply, helping the person integrate more with society, obtain, more friends in his or her life, as some examples. And another way this aspect may manifest, it could be where, it may shine the light, so to speak, which is the Sun, on those abilities, on the helping and healing others, and that prowess and ability. If Chiron is in Capricorn, as an example, it could be where, the helping and healing others, so, as far as shining the light in that area, the light may be shined on doing things that are business related for others, helping others attain greater social status and stature in life. Matters with reputation, public image, gaining, notoriety and recognition, things of that nature. Could be, excelling, helping the person excel in some kind of government or political work, as some examples. Now, also true, I'm saying that also, what I want to say, another way this aspect may manifest in a natal chart, there could be where the ego, which is the Sun, may be strongly connected with issues of depleted self-esteem, which is Chiron. And the issues, the Chiron is in Taurus, as an example. you know Taurus is the sign connected with self-worth and self-esteem, so that might really, reinforce, reaffirm those issues. But again, if Chiron is in Taurus, as an example, depleted or diminished as self-worth may be tied in, to one's monetary situation, their ability to generate money, the financial acumen. It could be matters connected, with patience, persistence, and perseverance. There may be difficulties, with staying with things, with the persistence and, the stick-to-itiveness, which might be tied in to diminish self-worth for this person, and it may have a stronger effect on the ego, more so than most others. Now, another thing too is another way this aspect may be expressed is that the biological father and dominant males and even children, which is the Sun, may figure prominently more in one's emotional wounds, which is Chiron, for better or for worse. Keep in mind, this is a conjunction aspect, and conjunctions are neutral. They can have good and bad qualities. And the thing is that the biological father, children, and dominant males, again, which is the Sun, may play a strong role in the emotional wounds one way or the other. If Chiron is in Leo, as an example, those emotional wounds may be tied in with matters connected with pride and ego and, attention, seeking, type endeavors, getting, accolades or recognition, it could be matters with him simply not being lauded and praised for his or her efforts. Now, another way this aspect may be expressed, it could be where there could be tremendous attention, which is the Sun, it could be on physical related suffering, which is Chiron, and emotional as well, naturally. But let's say if Chiron is in Sagittarius, as an example, there may actually be, a lot of attention on physical related suffering connected with the hips, the sciatic nerve, the liver, the thighs, as some examples. If Chiron is in Virgo, there may be a lot of attention put on physical related suffering connected with the pancreas or abdominal, intestinal issues. As some other examples, or the spleen, even. Now, also, too, if you have the Sun conjunct Chiron in a natal chart, it could indicate more physical related issues associated with the Sun sign position. If the Sun is in Pisces, as an example, there may be more physical related issues connected with the feet, the toes, the lymphatic or immune system, the pineal gland, as some examples. If the Sun is in Aries, there may be more physical related suffering connected with the head, the face, the eyes, the skull, the brain, as some other examples. And there may also be more, since the Sun is connected with the heart, the spine, and the upper back, there may be more issues with those, and physical related issues with those body parts, or even the left or the right eye, depending on gender, because the Sun is connected with that as well. Now, also too, if you have the Sun conjunct Chiron in a natal chart, there may be a very emphasized want, which is the Sun, to find the key, which is Chiron, to resolving matters with just emotional suffering, that kind of emotional pain and anguish. I mean, the thing is, if you have your Chiron in Capricorn, going back to Capricorn, there could be, issues, connected with social status or stature in life, or one's career. And like the key, for example, to, resolving those issues could be simply about, not worrying about being competitive or comparing yourself to someone else's success, and just being, working to be as successful as you can be, and being happy in what you're doing, really. And that's how, and that's, could be that key to success, as that example. Issues with that. Now, another thing too about this aspect could also be, where one is very cognizant in matters of the identity, where there may be suffering in one's identity. The identity is connected with the Sun, and then you have Chiron, which is associated with suffering. Now, the thing is, if the Sun is in Gemini, as an example, that identity, it could be tied in with just, the dissipation of the self, through lack of an integrating or unifying, purpose. How you identify yourself. Someone that might be overly mercurial or changeable, and there may be, more, suffering in matters with your basic identity, your true self, which is the Sun, which of course is in contrast to the ascendant, which is the projection of self, the astrological mask or facade. But another thing too, I would say too, in remote cases, there may be, let's say there actually, with this aspect, there could be a little greater than average, just a little greater than average propensity, where there may be a physical or emotional trauma, which is Chiron, that could be connected with the children, the biological father, and dominant males, which is the Sun. If Scorpio is in this aspect, then it may, as an example, it may be more issues where one is exhibiting, the power and control in this as well, in connection, with the physical, if there's any physical or emotional suffering with these people. Now, another thing too, people that have this aspect sadly may experience more upsetment. Chiron can be about our suffering. I would say could include upsetment in one's life, which is the Sun, than most people. And if the Sun, going back to Aquarius as an example, that life could be one in which one expresses a lot of selflessness, altruism, humanitarianism, consideration for others. One in which is more about doing things for the collective good of others, things that could be of an environmental nature, as some examples. And another way this aspect may manifest in a natal chart could be where the person may have tremendous drive and motivation, which is the sun, to do the things that are connected, with the Chiron, the sign, and terms of Chiron related activities, and using Aquarius as the example again for Chiron, it could be doing things out of selflessness, altruism. It could be doing things where one's supplying say tech labs for inner city schools, people that don't have as much as others. And that could be Pisces as well as an example, because Pisces is about the less fortunate. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.